It's the economy, stupid. I'm an engineer, and as an engineer, I build many feedback control systems. A feedback control system is what makes the air conditioning keep a stable temperature, and a self-driving car stay on the road, and internet data reach its destination. A feedback control system needs an input. We often call this the intent. This is what we want the system to do. It could be the temperature setting, or the name of the place we want our car or web browser to go to. When everything works, the system generates a desired output. This could be a specific temperature in the room, or that our car or data arrives at the right location. Apart from the input and output, there are three essential functions in a feedback control system. We can call them the worker, the sensor, and the controller functions. The worker is the part that heats or cools the air, that moves the car or sends data packets. The sensor is the part that measures how close to the set temperature we are, and how the car is getting closer to the destination, and how well behaved it is in traffic. Finally, the controller is the piece that listens to the sensor data and tells the worker what to do. Now, our economy is also a feedback control system. Capitalism has input in the form of political will and individual desires. It has output in the form of monetary streams, products being produced, and our world being polluted. It has a worker function in the form of factories and people producing goods and services. It has a sensor function in terms of quarterly reports and gross domestic product (GDP) numbers. It has a controller function in terms of corporate boards, middle managers, governments, and bureaucrats. In many ways, capitalism is a great achievement and a sophisticated feedback control system. For good and bad, it is what has taken us where we are now, and it's clearly a very long distance. And we are moving at an unprecedented speed. It's all quite impressive. It becomes less impressive if we analyze our current position and direction. Looking at the world, there's definitely something wrong when the survival of human society is no longer certain. Only 4% of the vertebrate land animals are wild animals, and the number of insects have dropped by 70% in my lifetime, and there are literally islands of plastic out there. These are all effects of successful capitalism. Some people say we need to abandon capitalism altogether to get back on track. Maybe that is so. There's also a clear possibility that capitalism will ultimately delete itself, much like communism did. Before we give up on capitalism, let's spend a moment to analyze where it goes wrong and see if there are any ways to fix it. In my opinion, there are two major problems with our current form of capitalism. The first problem is with the sensor system, which is supposed to provide the relevant information the control system needs to make decisions. Today, we are mostly measuring corporate profits and GDP growth numbers. This is like a self-driving car that's measuring its success based on speed. Would you sit down in a self-driving car that only cares about increasing the speed? We need to broaden and rebalance the metrics we use to measure success. The metrics need to involve the planet and not call our home planet an externality. Even economists have known this for a couple of decades, but economic reports still have this bad focus. The reason for this brings us to the second problem with capitalism. The second problem is in the control function. It has a strong status quo bias, that is, reluctance to change. Stability is of course a key property of any feedback control system, but a self-driving car that just accelerates straight ahead when the road turns is a bad one, really bad. This is because of the way the capitalist system is designed. It directs money to success. This is one of the reasons the capitalist system works so great and gets so efficient. But this also pushes us toward large-scale solutions and monopolies. As the monopolies gain money, they get powerful. When powerful, they manipulate the control function to keep things in their favor. This is rational for each player, but not good for the system as a whole. So to save capitalism, we need to stop talking about quarterly reports and GDP numbers, because they're poisonous and they're skewing our view of the real economy. Then we need to tighten up how powerful corporations and neighbor states mess with our decision making. This is not going to be easy, but the first step is to make our decision making transparent. Trolls and thieves, they don't like daylight much.